Derby World, it's JJ here. I figured it'd be time for the first update here on my 1996 Chevy Blazer. It's finally slowed down. Christmas is finally over. My school semester is finally over, and that took up pretty much all my time. But I was able to get a little bit done throughout the semester, just needing breaks from classes. So as you can see, I got most of the components out of the dash here. All I have left is the actual dash itself. So a few more bolts and I should be able to get that out. That'd be really nice, because then once that's out, I'm figuring I can start working on the engine compartment, get the heater core out, start getting all that stuff ready to go. So that's going to be my next thing, is just trying to finish getting the dash out, and then just maybe start doing some motor work. But that's the most I've done. I mean, I've done a little bit of stripping. The door panel is off. As well as the panels all the way in the back. I haven't done the carpet yet, but it'll get there eventually. The interesting thing I found about these Blazers is the door posts. I don't know if this is true for the 4-doors or not. If you guys ran a 4-door, let me know. I'm really curious about this. But these door posts, normally on the cars, they have this plate here is all the way across. Well, with here, this is quite interesting. There's just a little piece of sheet metal right here, and then there's a big gap right here. This is where the door mounts, and then right here is your outside panel. Right in there is your outside panel. So there's that big gap there, where usually with these cars, when you run them, build the cage, you can just put them up right close to this piece here, and then you don't have to worry about anything shifting. Well, looking at this, in order to be able to stop everything from shifting, I'm going to have to cut into these pieces here. Have my door bars going to come across like so. And then I'm going to have a piece coming from the door bar going in there in order to stop everything from shifting. So I thought that was really interesting about this when I was stripping it. Again, this is a 2-door. I don't know if this is for the 4-doors or not, if it does the same thing. I'm interested to see if it's true or not, because that was really odd to me. Yeah, that's pretty much as far as I've gotten with stripping it. I have the battery sitting inside, and so it stays nice and warm and doesn't freeze over the winter. That's about all I've done in the engine compartment. I've been getting some stuff ordered and shipped on the way. I have a bunch of parts sitting in the house for the engine. I have a new air cleaner. I have the part to be able to relocate the oil filter. Spark plugs, a few miscellaneous parts to get it running right, because as I mentioned in the overview, this thing wasn't running quite the way that it should be, so I'm going to have to do a little tune-up. As another thing, tires. I am also getting some tires ready for this thing. These ones here, this is what I'm going to be running in the back. They're some pretty meaty, beefy tires. I just got to get them sent over to a buddy. He's going to weld in some centers in there for me. Those are 4 bolts. I think these are off a ATV or UTV. So they're a little bit more meatier than they maybe should be, but we'll try it, see what happens. I'm interested. I think it'll look pretty cool on the back end of this thing. And then those will be on the front. For the back, I got a pair of SS rims from a buddy of mine. He's got, they've been pre-ran. They're gonna get narrowed down. They're gonna get welded centers welded in there as well. They're also gonna get narrowed. The reason I'm narrowing them is I got these 7.0 15s. These are a narrow tire, so with these narrower tires, that's why I want the more narrow rims, because with these narrow tires, they're more likely to fall off the bead. I'll have tubes in them, but I still don't want anything falling off the bead. And if I can keep a tire on a vehicle out there on the track, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure at least my tires are all there. And this thing is a little bit more rustier than I thought. One last tidbit before I leave you guys. When you're checking out your vehicles, make sure you check out everything You know, here I got the leaf springs. The right there, that leaf spring shackle is just completely rotted out. So luckily I looked underneath it and I noticed that. If I wouldn't have noticed that, then one or two hits, that leaf spring would have broken. Who knows what would happen after that. I'd be out of the Derby in 2 hits with my rear end or drive shaft pulling out or who knows what. So make sure you take a good look at your suspension, at your tires. That's the biggest thing. Is when it comes to me, I always try to make sure my tires are always good. I always try to make sure they don't pop, and make sure you have a good decent drivetrain. Where, you know, here, if I would have never looked at that, that would have been over missed and that would have broke on me, and that would have been the end of the Derby until next time, until I got that fixed. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to order new brackets or I'm just going to put a police 2x2 or 3x3 flat plate. I don't know. I don't think it'll matter too much if I put plate in there. It's just leaf shackles, so I guess we'll see as we get closer to the rules. I mean, it's end of December, and I know some places get their rules up by January, so that'll be nice to have those at least. But that's the update for now. As I mentioned, I got plenty of parts ordered for the engine. That's going to be my next thing. You know, being able to go through here. The only thing I really have left to order for this thing is the headers. I don't know if I'm going to build them myself or just order them. We'll see, but I'll be able to get some headers on this truck, because it'd look pretty decent with them on there. But anyways, that's it for now. So I'll keep you guys updated. You know, I'm off of school for the next month, so I should be able to get some time to get this thing in the garage, get it heated up, since we got snow on the ground now. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.